men, do you include goddesses in your practice or path?
So this might be the autism speaking, but obviously female deities and entities are a big part of my path, mostly because, well, they exist within it. But I've never really concerned myself with the applied sexes to any deities. Give or take, there are obviously certain ones that definitely have predominantly seen as masculine or feminine roles, and that's even outside of leadership. As an Irish pagan, Danu is something similar to that, mostly because in the way now my grandfather was Catholic, but he viewed the Tuatha De Danann as ancestors, and that has, interpreted the way that I go about Irish paganism. And we have always, as a family, referred to the goddess Danu as Grandmother Danu, which implies a lot of the ways that obviously we view her and that we venerate her. But other than that, most of the either side of the spectrum of assigned male by mythology or assigned female by mythology, it's their spheres of influence, like what they are the gods of, slash, what are they associated with. Such as, for example, Skadi on the north side of my religion is the goddess of the hunt, is a goddess associated with snow, and while she has similar spheres of influence as Uller, still completely separated. And I still see both as differently in how society has viewed them and other things that mythology assigns them, such as, Skadi being a Jotun, at least by birth, and then there's marriage, and then you can argue a bunch of things about that. While Uller, I think, is assigned a seer. I would imagine he is, because other things in mythology probably wouldn't make as much sense. But he is also up there in the ranking, because obviously he replaces Odin as the chief of the gods for, Odin's exile. But to be a little more back on the conversation at hand, female deities work in much the same fashion as the male deities to me personally. It's just what they're associated with. And I know some people really don't like that, especially on more of the Wicca side of things, because not all Wiccans, but a lot of Wiccans specifically deal in, male and feminine energy, to the point of there's always something to do with those things in their relation to how they venerate the deity. And I have trouble doing that to people, so I don't imagine that I'm going to be much better about doing that towards deities. Obviously certain titles are going to be there: king, queen, mother, father, stuff like that. But outside of that,